Hey, well, okay. So we are here with the Black Speakers Network cover reveal for the month of March. Happy Women's History Month. Okay, so we just happen to have all women right now. Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing this morning, this afternoon.
I hit the universe right.
Welcome.
It's Women's History Month, so let's just have all women. No, actually, Brian and Rodney are behind the scenes, so we're going to have them come in. There you go. Bam. So we knew it. We were just like introducing Women's History Month, and we were like, okay, we're here. We're here. So, Rodney, thank you so much for hosting for Black
Absolutely.
Speakers Network. Rodney was a cover last 2020.
2021.
2021. Okay,
My birthday month.
2021. And so he was a cover of 2021 and he's part of BSN and BSN is the official Speakers Magazine is the official magazine for BSN. So that is Rodney is our host today. So Rodney, kind of take it away and do the intros and we'll talk about what we're going to talk about today in terms of the cover reveal with our beautiful and brilliant Nicole
Nicole
Roberts-Jones.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. I am very excited about this cover reveal. Nicole Roberts Jones is somebody that I met virtually, but you guys, we know how quarantine pandemic life has been. Everybody has been meeting virtually. And so I met Nicole via Clubhouse. And she had this show that she was running, this space that she was holding, and it was always positive. It was always encouraging. And so I would pop in just to listen. And she would tease me, talk about Women's History Month. She would tease me and say, Rodney, we're going to let you stay, but this is for the women, right? And so, but she just has great personality. Cier has always taken the lead in interviewing the cover person. And one of my most favorite experiences being interviewed as a speaker was my conversation that I had with Cier Black. So Cier is going to kind of take us through her conversation that she had with Nicole Roberts Jones. And then, of course, we have the indomitable, the media mogul, Dr. Pam Perry herself. And so Pam has just been one of the, I love it. I love it. I love it. Pam brings people together. And I don't know anybody that knows Pam that doesn't have just the highest accolades and respect for her. So Pam, thank you so much for bringing us together. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the meat of our show today.
All right. So Nicole Roberts-Jones is gracing the cover. If I can show this right here. This is not the actual magazine, right?
It's that big, people.
This is the blow up of the cover because she's having an event in March called Be the Answer. And this cover was different from the typical covers that we do because Nicole actually flew into Detroit from the DMV area, did a photo shoot at Sean Fair's event, and then this was actually the photo that we selected out of all of those photos. And so this is the actual, the magazine is speakersmagazine.com. If you actually go there, you'll see some of the behind the scenes pictures of the cover being made in the front of on the publisher's page. So we'll go through the magazine in a little bit. But I want her to really tell us about Be the Answer and what that's all about why would Be the Answer to what? So I want Nicole to kind of talk about that and then Cier to really talk about the cover story that she wrote, and the name of that article is called Be the Answer. So it's all kind of in alignment.
Yeah. So first, I have to say thank you. I'm excited to be here. So I'm on the road, y'all. You know, speaker on the move. So I'm in a makeshift studio because I'm on the road. So here's the thing that really rumbled in my spirit. So I've been doing this 28 years. Get your life. I'm 29. So literally about it'll be 29 years actually in September. So literally maybe about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, in this entrepreneurial journey, when I went from broke to bankable. And I got really excited. And many of us start in an entrepreneurial journey knowing that we're called, knowing we have this vision, knowing we have this desire in our heart and we don't know how to move it forward. Well, when I really got a clue, God began to show me, I gave you a clue to help other people because you are meant to be the answer you were born to be in this world. And so there it was. I was like, oh my God. And so that is how my 2-day coaching intensive was born. So it's not an event where a bunch of speakers are there. Although, look, I'm speaking at those. One of them is right after this, right? And those are great. What I wanted to do was really hold this space. You know, for me, when my business was broken, I went over here and got a little bit. I went over here and got a little bit. I went over here and got a little bit. And it all was good, but I didn't know how to put it together. So, really, in 2 days, I walk you through end to end what you need to understand your purpose, your niche, how to then optimize that. And listen, marketing is great, but there's not a one size fit all marketing plan. So, how do we allow people to see you so that they know that you are their answer? And then, third is how do we create multiple streams of revenue? And then fourth, oh, by the way, we do a revenue wheel. That exercise by itself is yummy. And then fourth, we do an execution plan because it's great to be motivated or inspired, but if you implement nothing, it is for nothing. So that is what Be the Answer is. It's 2 days where I dig and coach and teach an intimate group of people, and men are invited to this. Rodney, right? God hit me on my hand after that. So literally, I now serve men as well, men and women that are ready to grow or start their purpose focused business. That is in essence what that 2 day intensive is. So
That sounds great. That sounds amazing. And I'm so glad that people like me, Cier, for little folks like myself, can also benefit
yes.
from all of the wonderfulness that you bring to the table. So again, when is the dates and how do people get connected to it?
So March 18th and 19th. So it's two
Okay.
weeks from today,
It's two
literally
weeks.
2 weeks. Now listen, it's virtual. So you don't have to
Okay.
get on a plane. Listen, right now, can I tell you, I don't have no shoes on. Now, if I was at home, I wouldn't have my pants either. But after the event, I'm speaking at after this, and then I am going to an event. So I'm being
Got you.
honest. When it's virtual, you can be dressed from the waist up and
Right,
not
right,
none of
right.
it
That's
up,
all you got to
right?
do.
So, but we still do networking. I send a swag box to your house with your workbook in it because I am coming to teach you, and we will be implementing. So here's the thing. BeTheAnswerEvent.com is where you go register for all our speaker magazine readers. We have a
Mm,
special code for you. Now, Pam left, so I believe you have to send a special email, and Pam will give you the code and $100 off. So first of all, it's already economical. It's $297 without the code.
okay. Okay.
But I wanted to do something special for Speakers Magazine because I don't want you. Listen, we're coming out of COVID, hopefully by the grace of God.
That's
But
right.
the one thing that did not get canceled in COVID is your purpose. And so for many of you, you've been waiting and trying to figure it out. You don't have to do that anymore. Get your butt in a virtual seat and let
Mm,
me pour it in for you. So BeTheAnswerEvent.com is where you go.
that sounds great. That sounds phenomenal. Y'all see how she is. You know, one thing that did not get canceled is your purpose. Those little teachable, notable quotables, those teachable moments, man. I'm looking forward to it. Sierra, you guys had a great conversation.
We absolutely did. And Nicole, what I would really like for us to expand on, because, when we write these articles, we're limited to a word count,
Yeah.
but really talk about the matriculation.
Mm.
You use that word throughout our interview. Talk about the
Yes.
matriculation of your purpose. At one time, Rodney may not have been invited, but now she is. You said, God spanked your hand.
That's
So let's talk about,
matriculation. Right.
right. Let's talk about that. Help the audience understand what that means. And it's part of the growth process, but
Mm-hmm.
dig into that just for a little bit more.
Sure. So again, I've been doing this 28 years, y'all. So I started this in 1993 when I had the career I've dreamed of since I was 7 years old. And I need to give you guys background so you understand what I mean by matriculation, because some of you are in the place I'm getting ready to share right now. Okay. So I worked in the entertainment industry. At the time, I worked for Viacom's largest cable network. We had outreach to over 89 million homes on a weekly basis. From there, I was elevated into a casting position, working on the number one TV show on Fox. And then from there, I worked with an entertainment group and will reproduce generated over $12.6 billion a year. So I was playing pretty big and I was going to all the hot Hollywood parties. Funny, my best friend whose house I'm at right now in Atlanta, we used to go to them together. So we were laughing about that last night. But anyway, so listen, I was living the dream. But in the dark of the night when I was by myself, my dreams started to torment me because I felt like something was missing. And I couldn't figure out what was happening. Guess what was happening, y'all? I can tell you now. My purpose was matriculating. See, but I didn't know it. So every time I talked to one of my girlfriends, they kept saying, "Are you crazy? Didn't you go to this event? And didn't we get in this party? And weren't you on the red carpet?" And so listen, I'm sharing this with you because what I didn't realize back in 1993 was God was calling me to my next level. See, it's not about who you are. The version of you that you are today, your resume, your bio is over, is complete. So God doesn't come for that. He's not checking your bio. He's not even checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. So for me, what happened is in that moment, one of my girlfriends asked me to volunteer with her at a program at our church on a Friday night, working with young people. As I started working with those young people, I said, "Oh my God, this is the thing that I've been looking for." But I didn't know what to call it. There was no such thing as a coach, at least I hadn't heard of it. And so I'm sharing that story with you because, again, what I didn't realize is God was matriculating my purpose. But in order for you to go after what's next, it will be outside of your comfort zone. Matter of fact, your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. So to end out the answer to this, so yes, I went after this thing. Now I realize it's coaching. Even after I had been doing it 17 years, I told you guys a few minutes ago, if you've been here from the beginning of the interview, that my business was broke. So listen, by some 17 years in, I look successful on paper. Here we go with that paper thing, resume thing, right? I had 10 chapters of 10 states. Oh, by the way, that little program, that little moment in my church became a program. It became a nonprofit. I had 10 chapters of it in 10 churches in 10 cities throughout the country. In my for-profit, so I had a nonprofit and a for-profit. In my for-profit, I had a maxed out coaching client roster, coaching highly skilled professionals like many of you. At the time, I was only coaching women. And so much so that I couldn't take any more clients. So I thought, let me write a book. So my first book came out in 2010. And by the way, that's where I met Pam Perry. That's a whole story behind that. And so literally, y'all, I want you to get this. I was doing all of that, but my business was only making $13,000. Here I was again. Didn't realize what God was doing was matriculating me again. So I went from entertainment to start this coaching practice to be broke. I didn't start this to be broke. So I hired a coach. I'm telling you guys a long story short. That coach, what she showed me was me. You know, we can't see a label from inside the jar. It's a bottle of water. If you are a jar called you, there's a label outside of you, meaning there's things you do that are natural to you that you don't realize you're doing. It took me hiring a coach so that she could show me my label and I could package my label. I went from 13,000 to over 200,000. But the other thing I realized God was doing was matriculating my purpose again. So that was second. My third matriculation happened last year, probably right around the time that I told Roddy to get off that clubhouse. Let me be honest. So I was on a live like this, and I was on with a pastor, a gentleman. It was a man, and I said women, and I felt like I was going to throw up on live. And I'm sharing that with you because God had been nudging me about shifting again. So what I mean by purpose matriculation is this. Just like we matriculate through the education system, we go through elementary and then high school, and some of us go to college and get our PhDs and on and on and on. See, but the difference is we know the end from the beginning. But your purpose, God doesn't tell you the end from the beginning because he wants you to trust him and to have faith. So for me, my purpose kept matriculating. Oh, and by the way, I'm still casting and producing. Now what I do is put you in the right role in your business, and I produce all the ways you should make money from it. So I'm doing the same thing, but God has matriculated it. So that literally is what I mean by purpose matriculation. So here's my question to you. How many of you guys are sitting in comfort instead of going after your conviction? See, your comfort and your conviction can never coexist, ever. Oh, somebody dropped something on that one. So literally, I need y'all to get, every time God has matriculated me, I had to come out of comfort. And let me just tell you one last thing. When I was making $13,000, can I tell y'all what was in the way? There was something called EGO, my ego. Because I had a master's degree and I should know how to do this, right? I'm teaching at a university level. I was teaching grad school as an adjunct professor. Oh, my resume looked really good. I was phenomenal and clueless all at the same time. And see, what was happening is because I should know how to do this, I wouldn't reach out for help. How many of y'all got a free notebook of all the free webinars you've been to? That was me too, right? Because I can figure this out. But again, I need y'all to get this. When your purpose is matriculating, it's not about who you already are. God is coming after a version of you who you have not yet become. That version you will need. Come on. That version, you're going to need new tools. And so that is what happens. Every time your purpose matriculates, you've got to get new tools to go after the next level of you.
Masterful. Nicole, let me tell you something. Cier, for a person like me to be able to sit back and just eat and enjoy, right? Because I do this so much, sometimes it's hard for me to turn my brain off because I'm checking for these things and I'm looking at the nuances. Nicole, I sat here glued. I'm glad the camera wasn't on me because I'm over here like, no. And I enjoyed this. And when you pulled up the bottle and you just gave that very simple analogy of how difficult it is to see the label from inside. And so having somebody help you see yourself from where you are.
Yeah.
I appreciate this. Cier, I just wanted to just go ahead and give her accolades, but this is phenomenal. Keep going.
I appreciate you, Rodney. I appreciate you. Look, and you didn't realize you were calling me out before I was willing to do it. Wow. I kept ignoring God. God kept saying, I need men. I'm like, okay, Lord, you're not talking to me. You're talking to Pam. You're talking to somebody
she said for 2 years. For 2 years, she kept putting that off.
Yep.
And we're getting this feedback.
Until God was like, no more, girl. So when I felt like I was gonna physically throw up, now y'all know you need to know I'm vain first always. Okay, so I
First
don't
and
ever want to
always.
look bad. I keep it real, right? So, but I'm transparent. I could be vain and transparent at the same time.
Yes.
So I was like, oh my God. So I had to say, okay, wait a minute, Pastor. I'm sorry. Let me back up. And then I told on myself out loud on his podcast.
Mm, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. He was trying to tell you that little Rodney needed some help. That's for 2 years. For 2 years, he's trying to say, help that boy. Nicole, I know you got to get out of here. Is there any way in your last time with us that you can turn your volume up for some of us?
Sure. Let me see what I can do on my
You think you got
makeshifts.
some of that? Cier, feel free, take it away.
Well, there's two things that she mentioned also that is really branding 101, and that Pam talks about, I talk about, we all discuss, is that you are the answer, but
Mm-hmm.
not for everyone.
Right.
So the importance of making sure you know what your purpose is and who you're serving is key. And then the second one she talked about is when you are speaking and when you are marketing, you're not marketing to everyone. You
Right.
cannot. And when you do that, when you try to serve everyone, you actually end up serving no one. Just talk about those 2 points. Just reinforce that before you go, Nicole, because I think that is key for everyone to hear.
Okay. So you know I'm a woman of a certain age. Tell me the first point again. It's sad, y'all.
The first point is that you are the answer, but not for everyone.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing I had to learn to blend both answers together. A confused mind does not buy. I'm trying to get closer to my microphone and not be all up on my computer, right? A confused mind does not buy. Look, let me just keep it all the way around. How about I hold it? Is that better, Rodney? Okay,
That's
since we on
better.
Speakers
Yes.
Magazine, let me go
Great.
ahead and hold it.
Yes.
Okay.
That was great.
So
Yes.
a confused mind doesn't buy. So here's what I had to learn. See, when you're trying to talk to everybody, what you're doing is swimming through muddy waters. So if you're in Hawaii or Aruba and you in the boat and you ready to scuba dive, now even if you've never been, y'all visualize this, roll with me. Are you gonna jump in the water if it's muddy? I'm like, what happened to the water that I saw on the brochure, right? But many of us, our brands are that way, and I believe that it's because we believe we're gonna leave people out. Mm-mm. You've got to understand that God created you. Let me bring some Jesus in. So Genesis 2:8. Okay, and I'm a God's girl. So God talks about the fact that He created a garden with Adam in mind. See, the same way that you were brought here, there are a group of people that are aligned and assigned to you. When you stand in the full power of who you are and you specialize it, not try to be the general practice person, but when you specialize it, then people go, it's something about him, it's something about her. That's because Matthew 5:16. Ooh, come on, throw these Bible verses in my spirit, God. Let your light so shine among men and women that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. So when you're muddied and you're trying to be everything, you can't shine. Think about a diamond. A diamond starts as a lump of coal. Until you do the work to chisel off that coal, it doesn't shine. And many of you guys still have coal all wrapped around your gift because you're not doing the work to really get to the core of who you be. That makes the difference. And you will not leave people out. And it really gives people permission to say yes to your divine assignment. And some of you guys are saying, I don't have a divine assignment. You do. Listen, if you go look up ministry in the dictionary, underneath the church definition and the stuff that says pastors and preachers, it says something about serving people, which is why I call my event Be the Answer. So you've got to know there's a group of people that need you in a certain way. They need you, but they got to be able to see it. And you've got to niche down in order for them to see it.
Wow. That's masterful. Beautiful. Simply put. I love it. I love it.
Okay, Pam, I'm going to need you to teach me how to get that right there. I'm just saying, I need some hand claps on my
No.
lives.
And I have these too.
Pam, who's your little snow bunny right there with you?
Hey, Peppy.
This is Peppy.
Peppy Perry.
House. I think he likes Nicole's voice. So
Hi, Peppy.
he spoke. So he would jump up. So it's just like, okay. He's a mascot for Speakers Magazine.
There we go.
Love it.
Hey, Peppy. Hey, Peppy. Yes, Nicole, that microphone holding it. And it fits.
Yeah.
I'm on
It
Speakers
is.
Magazine, so I can do this, right?
That's it.
Go ahead,
So
Cier.
she actually is a lot of times she's worked with so many different people, helping them put together their intellectual property into programs.
Yeah.
And the story I like her to tell is about how you were teaching and then you got a coach and the coach said to you what? Like, why aren't you doing
So actually I was coaching this particular person. It's a well-known person. I'm not going to say names, and literally helping her streamline her programs, right? Because she had so many, and sometimes it's too many, y'all. Confused mind also doesn't buy on the other end. When you got a big name, you got 20 million programs, and you standing at the board, like when some of y'all go to McDonald's, you stand at the board, and you'll know what to pick. Well, some of you guys have way more programs than McDonald's has a list of food. So anyway, so I got her clear that you only need 3 or 4 programs in addition to one-on-one, right? So you won't confuse people. So as soon as I said that, she said, "Why don't you?" Because I used to only do one-on-one work only in consultancy. She said, "How come you don't coach people doing this?" And before I could finish it, she went on stage. Oh, by the way, I was at an event when we had our last coaching, right? She went on stage and sold me to somebody. Right? So I had to take the years I've been doing this work as a adjunct professor, because the same stuff I used to teach. I used to go in and teach program development. I've worked with heads of state. I've worked with small business owners. I've worked with, and so I used to go in and do their programs for them. How do I not teach you how to do programs? So my first client, I didn't tell her I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing. But
Right.
you got to be clear. I didn't know what I was doing it in that way. But your intellectual property doesn't lie. So I took the methodology that I've been using as a consultant. I took the methodology that I had used with my coach that became my client. That's that coach, that $30,000 coach, same one, that became my client. And literally that first client, when I finished, she was blown away. And I told her at the end, you were my first client. Oh, I have not looked back yet. That was probably another matriculation moment. Now I think about it, Pam, right? So because I didn't see the value that was here. Because I effortlessly, if I tell you one other quick story. So my best friend who just texted me, not the one, I'm here, I'm from LA. I have 2 besties, right? So my bestie was an image consultant. I thought she was coming through the door when I said that. But anyway, so my other bestie is an image consultant. She had asked me to go to a party a couple years ago. And I said, "I'll go only if you hold a style suite." She was like, "What?" I was just trying to hang out. I said, "Girl, do you see all the money on the table you could be making? All these people need outfits. If we just, I'll close all the sales." But I'm saying that because I could see it. It just jumped in my spirit because I can instantly see your gift and how people will need you, regardless of what you do. And I gave her the whole thing. She said, "I called you. How did you think about that fast?" I said, "Because that's how I'm wired. You know me. You've been around me." And so literally the one thing you guys all have to get is there things you're doing on autopilot. It's intrinsic to your DNA, your distinct natural ability. And because God invested such special DNA inside of you, we all overlook it because it's easy for you. It's not easy for everybody else. And every day we hold out on it, we're holding up somebody's answered prayer. So, yeah.
That is so true.
Absolutely.
Putting together courses for people, seeing their gifts, seeing how they can make money is one of the things that she tells people how to bankroll their brilliance. And so, talk about the Brilliance Academy. What is that?
So Brilliance Mastery Academy, it's a 12-month, I like to call it an incubator. My team hates when I say that word, but literally because it's you need 3 things to be successful in business. You need to understand how to tell your story. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Did she freeze up?
I think she froze.
Can I pull up her notable quotable? She said, "Distinct natural ability for DNA."
The DNA. The DNA.
You could just have that scroll. I love that.
That is it.
Here, and I'm back. That was a commercial break. So can y'all hear me? Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
So what Brilliance Mastery Academy is, it's my team and I working with you. So my team does some of it for you, and the rest of it I'm working with you alongside you. So one is you have to have a visibility plan. So it's more than just having a plan. How do you allow people to see you? So it's really working through 3 areas. One, how to tell your story, right? In a way that people will see you. Number 2, how do you get your story out there? So it's, how do you find speaking events? How do you write? So this is a small piece of it, but that really speaks to your launch, which then we create your entire back end. So if you're going to have multiple streams of income, you have to have a back end set up. You've got to have a blueprint. So what I mean by a blueprint, if you got to have strategy from your intellectual property. So when someone calls you, when my best friend called me, I was like, "Girl, you talking from step number 4. And I started going in because I could see it in my own methodology. So I work with you to create your methodology from your brilliance. And then from that, we create your first program. So we create your program. My team creates your back end for you. So you don't have to do all the hard technology stuff. And then we start looking at your launch. So all the elements you need to pull a launch together, your first launch successfully, that's really what Be the Answer, what Brilliance Mastery Academy is. But those of you that are just starting out, I want you to jump into Be the Answer. Let me tell you why. Because that will give you a strong framework from where you can see and assess where you are. And if you need more at Be the Answer, we're going to offer that to you. But some of you get what you need to Be the Answer, and it'll be perfect, it'll be good enough. Great. But at least you'll have the framework for where your business is, where your purpose is, and how to move it forward. So Pam, you weren't here earlier. BeTheAnswerEvent.com. I said I'm giving out $100 off for Speaker Magazine subscribers for those of you that are here with us, right? Where do they need to email to get the coupon from you?
They can email staff@PamPerryPR.com.
Staff
Staff at
at
PamPerryPR.com.
PamPerryPR.com. We like the choir. We like the choir, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
so those of you listen, BeTheAnswerEvent.com. Go look at the page. There's testimonials. Everything I've said is much more detail there. But if you know now's your time, I look forward to coaching you. You come empty. I'm coming full to fill you up with everything you need to grow your purpose or start your purpose focused business.
And it's in the studio, so it's not the typical in the bubble kind of thing. You're moving around and
We got
dancing
still
and
look. We got a DJ coming. Listen, because you
you
get
know I'm
one
gonna be
part.
dancing.
Listen, you get one part God, Jesus. I'm one part Jesus girl, one part Cardi B. Don't judge me. You get both. Okay. Now I'm the clean version of Cardi B, but still, so
I'm the
because I like ratchet
Beyonce.
music. Yeah, Beyonce, but I like ratchet music, so we dance, right? And it's fun. Networking. I'm gonna be teaching you, right? You know how Pam does, and we do have dance breaks. You think I'm kidding, y'all? We have networking, and so literally, it
I'll be
might be a
there.
virtual event, but it's produced like, listen, again, all things work together for the good. Me being from production, when COVID got shut down, I used to do this event live, and God said, you don't get to shut it down. I was like, but how, Lord? Right? And so I started thinking, oh my goodness, I could do it in the studio. Let me find a studio. Okay, I could. So all my production stuff started kicking back in. All things work together for the good.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. I am so excited. I went to it live in Boston, and that was so much fun. It was so much fun. But when you did the studio is in Baltimore actually. That I know Rodney's gonna say something, and it's a whole experience. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a studio. It is just you're
You
gonna
get a
feel
production. By the way,
yeah.
let me shout out Elevation Global Media, where is the production studio that I'm doing at. They are such great partners. Again,
Yes.
Elevation Global Media, Cassandra and her whole team. And listen, we've been on production calls because this is not a regular Zoom meeting, y'all. Y'all need to
No,
know this is a
no.
full on production coming to you live in your living room or wherever you're gonna be.
Are you still going to the studio in Baltimore?
Yep, yep. I
Um,
go live
so,
in the studio.
so we're definitely going to link
Okay,
because
yes, sir.
we
I'm
want.
always in Baltimore. I'm just an email away from you, brother. I don't know what you waiting on.
I
I'm just
love
saying.
this. Listen, Cier, while she started talking, I started taking out notes. You're dropping so many nuggets. You're dropping so many nuggets about how your purpose is
Yeah.
matriculating in each step of the way. And I'm just over here like, and I was like, capture it, son. Like, feed on this later. So while we was off camera, I pulled out my notepad.
And can I just say one thing, since we talking speakers, BSN and Speakers Magazine, your speaking matriculates too, y'all. So whereas you might have been a speaker and maybe you were doing it as a side hustle, if you're going to really do this thing, you've got to have a speaking business. It's irresponsible for you to speak for 45 minutes and think that you transform somebody's life. Girl, bye. If I could work out one time in the gym for 45 minutes and look like J-Lo for the rest of my life, trust it would have already been done.
Please repeat that. Please repeat that.
What about the working out or the
No,
standing on
no,
stage?
not the
I'm
working
kidding.
out.
Okay, I know.
The speaking
Right.
business, the
Business.
importance of actually having an offer, having a program.
Yes,
Because
because people need.
speaking,
Listen, if you're trying to speak to be popular, you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you're going to be in alignment with God, put you here. Speaking is a vehicle that allows people to see the gift. Some of you guys have been watching me today, and dare I say, you're like, "Oh, you know why you're saying ooh? Because I'm assigned to you." If your spirit is leaping, that's the purpose that's jumping up inside of you because I'm meant to work with you. The same way that when you speak and get in front of people, the same thing will happen for you. But it's irresponsible for you not to have a way for them to learn and do more. Because this conversation is great. Me standing on the stage, I'm getting ready to stand on in a minute and do a 45-minute workshop is great. But if I'm going to move someone's life or business or career, depending on what you do forward, you've got to have a way that they can continue the work. And that's really what I help people do because it's amazing to me the number of people that go, oh, Nicole, you're good. I want to work with you. I want to be a speaker. And then I say, a speaker about what? Well, I want to speak to people. I didn't ask you who. I said what? Because you've got to realize that when people come to you, they're looking for predictable results, not motivation or inspiration. You get that at church for free on Sunday. You've got to be able to help them move something forward. That's why they're coming. And so you've got to be able to continue that after you speak.
That's good. That's good.
I love it. I love it.
When I tell you that I bought this just for that, that is like crazy. It's
Right.
so much more. It's called a Rodecaster and Rodecaster Pro. There's so much more it can do. You can program commercials and all of that, but I
Girl,
bought
you
it.
ain't saying about a bird.
I
I'm about
bought
to
it
go
for the
Google it.
applause.
I was tripping out about y'all talking about your dance breaks. So what they don't know is those little snippets that y'all shared from y'all time when y'all was just in Michigan. See, it was nothing but a whole bunch of dance clips back to back to back to back. Well, it was it was dancing over here, they was
We
dancing
were
over
doing the
there. It was
360.
Wait, and can I tell y'all, like, I have to tell the quick story about Pam. And every time I'm on speaker, something, I have to tell this quick story about how I met Pam Perry. Because it was in between a break, and this is in 2010, y'all, when I was still clueless, right? So I spoke at Urban League's national convention. And so you guys, I'm saying that because the platform was huge. It was like probably 5,000 people in there, give or take, probably more than that. And I get off stage and I have a booth. I'm by myself. My husband's there, but my husband's off talking to people because, it's what our husbands do, right? And I'm signing books and I'm talking to every single person. The line is out the tent, y'all. Pam gets out of line. She doesn't know me from a can of paint. She says, baby, you can't talk to everybody. And she starts moving people, like sign and then, okay, move. I was like, whoever this lady is has blessed me. And then she seriously stopped and coached me. We've been connected ever since because literally I was pouring into every person that was crying, that was right, and that's what makes me say it's irresponsible because
And
here
I
I am
said, she gonna lose
trying.
out on some sales. I said, because people gonna leave. I was like,
Right.
let them buy the book, then we can go and talk to them,
But here's
okay?
the thing I want y'all to get. I was trying to pour in at that moment because I knew they needed more. I was being irresponsible. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because
Mm-hmm.
and then I was being irresponsible to the people in line that were waiting because they also had something they needed. And at the
Mm-hmm.
time, I did not have a way for people to work with me, which is why my business was broke.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Everybody,
Pam saved my
if
life.
you don't get a coach or you don't get information, you will stay broke. Because I
Yeah,
know the first few years of my business, I literally was giving away everything because my company was like a Christian business, and I just didn't know how to
me too.
charge. I just wanted to be a good Christian, and I was broke as smoke. I said, you know what? It wasn't until I got a coach, Andrew Morrison. He's retired now. He said,
Right.
Pam, I'm gonna give you permission. You don't have to work with broke folk.
Mm.
Hello.
And I was
And
like,
the heavens opened up.
yes, I was like, oh, okay. He said,
Wait, can I tell
someone
you?
can see your
Wait,
value and pay you
Wait, can I tell you that
properly.
after I hired that coach, because I was doing the same thing, because I'm clear my business is my ministry, right? So when I had that revelation from my coach, and then I was still scared to charge people because I want to serve, right? God dropped in my spirit, literally. And I've only heard God's audible voice probably about, two of times in my life. He said, and I quote, service and struggle should never coexist. Why would I
Mm,
give you a gift and want you to struggle to do it? I was
right.
like, okay, Lord. Right. And then
So
right after he said that, y'all, the church called me. I was like, really, Lord, right now, for real? First lady asked me to speak in an event. I said my speaking fee and I hushed. And she said, okay, do you want to stay at the Hilton or the Marriott? And do you have a preferred airline? I was like, what?
wow. Those
I
those
have
little
not had an issue.
synchronicities, I love that. Right when those things kind of randomly just line up to let you know you're in it, you're where you're supposed
Right.
to be, and
Right.
Mhm.
accepting that, man. Anyway, go ahead. I appreciate everything that you just bubbling up inside of me. Keep
Yes.
on going.
Yes.
Sierra, go ahead. I know you got to talk about the article more before we lose her.
No, we actually covered the core of the article and the part that did not make it as much as an article. But as you know, there's so much that she can share. Like
Mm.
service and struggle should not coexist. I love that.
Yep. And then he led me to John 10:10 that says, I've come that you have life and have it more what? Abundantly,
Abundantly.
Abundantly.
right? But then what
Hmm.
we forget is the first part of that Bible verse that says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. So what happens is, a little teachable moment, the enemy doesn't want you to stand in your purpose because guess what? The people that you will bless. So he makes you second guess yourself. He makes you play small. He makes you think you're bigger than this. That's him coming to steal, kill, and destroy. So I'm coming to wreak havoc on him still killing and destroying. All you got to do, literally, y'all, be the answer event.com. I don't sell, I serve. So this is my invitation for me to serve you in 2 days. Be the answer event.com. Listen, I have 10 seats for Pam, but if you miss one of them 10, baby, get your butt in the room. It's only $297 without the $100 off code, okay? Be
Right.
the answer event.com and then send an email to staff at Pam Perry PR. untitled.com if you want one of those $100 off coupons.
Come on, Nicole, and sell the whole thing and be the marketing and just do it all, Nicole. Nicole, when are you gonna do this live? When is the next Be the Answer?
You know what? I enjoy it so much virtual. I don't know that I'll ever do it live. Now I'm saying that, and God might tap me in the shoulder.
She has said that because the production is so high level. It really is fun.
And then you don't have to leave. You don't have to leave your house. You don't need to get a hotel. You don't have to pay for expensive meals. And people, listen, I have women that met each other. Now men are invited too, okay? But I have people, let me say people. I have people that met each other years ago. I see them doing stuff together and I love it. And I know they made it Be the Answer. So we still network and everything virtual. Even the group that came last March, it's so funny. I was talking to them the other day and they're like, two of them are like freaking frack. And I was like, well, how are y'all so close? Did y'all know each other before? No. Wow. And one lives in one state. Actually, one lives here in Atlanta. No, she doesn't. Anyway, let me start figuring out geography. They live in two separate states, and they fly and get together and mastermind together, and I love it. And they met it Be the Answer. Virtual.
Bringing people together. She's becoming a little Pam Perry, Pam. She's becoming a little Pam, bringing folks together.
We are so much alike. We were at, I forgot where we were. We were at a conference in National Harbor, and Tawana Burris's conference. We were both speaking. And we went shopping together. So we had known each other and we know each other's books and we believe our businesses, our ministry and all that. But when we went shopping together,
we were picking up all the same stuff. I was like, you can't buy that necklace. I'm buying that necklace.
Two of them, okay? Because I wanted and she wanted.
Right. We have such a great time. We were together because we serve, and then we have a good time celebrating and turning up and all the fun stuff after. Yes. So yeah.
So we got the magazine. We're going to go through that, and some of the videos of the behind the scenes are embedded in the magazine. Yeah. Your speaker reel, which I love. I want people to see your speaker reel. You have some clips in there from CNBC and things like that. I want people to see the ideal. Like you started, almost 30 years ago, but I want people to realize that they don't start where you are now, that they need these foundational pieces that you'll be teaching at Be the Answer event. Yeah. So I want them to see the story, the shoot, the video, the behind the scenes. You're authentically you, and people should be able to build a business by being their authentic self and serving. So we'll do that. There we go. Hey.
So with that, I want to thank y'all. Thank you, Pam, for allowing me to grace you on the cover. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Rodney, for being my brother in the journey. Thank you, Cier, for doing the interview. We had a good time chit-chatting. I forgot she was interviewing me, right? At some point, I think we probably went way over. So I just want to say I honor you, and I thank you all for your gifts and the way that you're playing in the marketplace, and just for allowing me to come up and share with y'all today.
Before you get out of here.
Thank you. When you
go on to my next speaking gig.
Break a leg.
Look, I got to figure out my microphone because I can't hold it and turn my slides. So anyway, we're going to break that up. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate you.
All right. God bless. Bye. Thank you.
Have fun, Nicole.
TheAnswerEvent.com.
Yay. Bye, y'all.
See you later.
All right, cool. So this is the issue. This is the Women's History Month issue. And I'm wearing pink and in honor of that. And Cier also has a little matching with the burgundy. She even did her hair burgundy. No, so we're going to go through this. So this right here.
My hair has been burgundy for over a year.
I know, I'm just teasing you. But it just happens to match. So if we could click the video of her speaker reel, and this is an example of a very good speaker reel. I think you can. There we go.
Let's maximize it.
Can we get the sound? The sound is probably. Can Brian come in? Brian, can you come in? Because when he's in it, we can hear it.
While we're waiting for that, can we just get the full image of her cover? Can we just do that full cover?
Oh, this one here.
So I think that look at that.
This is the full cover.
I love it. Every time they just get it better and better. Look at that. She looks bright. She looks happy. She looks alive.
One of the things that Pam and I were talking about is, we always talk about authenticity. Mm-hmm. And these photos of Nicole in this magazine, as well as everywhere else, is truly who she is. Her personality shines through so well that these photos are so authentic of her personality. Mm-hmm. And when you are authentic, it comes across. People, easily gravitate towards it and understand it and get it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
That is it. If Brian can, if Brian, Dr. Brian, Dr. Brian can come and join us so that we can actually go through the magazine, that would be good. But if not, we can go back and go through it page by page, but they can go and see it at speakersmagazine.com as well. They can read all the issues. They can download the one Rodney's in as well. They can download it. They can watch the videos. What we try to do is put in every issue, the videos that correspond with the person that's in there as well. The video cannot play through StreamYard. We can go through the max. Okay, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay. Let's take them on this journey.
All right. So yeah. All right. So then the next page, if you kind of hover over that a little bit, you'll see some of the video that is going to be in there. Just hover over Ready, Set, Go, Speak. No? All right. So anyway, videos are there so that you can, it's an interactive. So the digital version is actually interactive. So the Ready, Set, Go, Speak membership is that place where people who are starting out in the speaking business want to get more visibility. They want to get more publicity. And that's where we really have like the brand shoot photo planner in there. The branding accelerator digital version is in there. The vault of all the tools and resources that I use for my clients to get publicity. So it's really a first thing to a membership to Ready, Set, Go, Speak. You can be in it for a year. Every Monday, you get a marketing memo to take you step by step, little by little, so that you can actually put together your entire visibility plan. And then once a month, I sit down with everyone in the group via Zoom and just more or less like do hot seats with everyone to see where they're going and how they're doing. But the main thing of it is that I don't really promise, and Cier knows that. I don't really promise that there's a magic wand, right, to do PR, right? It's not like you go from zero to a hero. So you really do have to start ready, set, go, speak. And it is a process. The ready phase is all included, the set phase, the go phase, and the speak. And so media opportunities are given in there every single week. But people who you have to go through the process first, the ready phase, about really understanding your purpose and your niche and what it is you want to do, why you want to speak. And then the set phase is really pulling together all the marketing materials. And I'm a real, yeah, I give people the real deal about, okay, that looks ugly. We need to change this. You got to get your
She
brand
sure does.
together. Yeah,
She
it's
sure
like,
does.
you got to do
So
that.
let's just, before we even move on from that, because there are two things. The ready part, there's so much valuable information in that program, right? The information in the vault.
Go back.
You have, right, you have Pam Perry that comes on at least once a month, but she's constantly dropping in information. But I think people do not recognize the importance of community too, whenever you are starting out, particularly when you are starting.
Cier is the program manager, so she really is over everyone and understands where they're going. She gives them a clarity session when they first join to really make sure that they're on point, that they understand, like, okay, you just don't start out here creating content. You got to have clarity for the content.
Right.
So that's why it is a community. It's a forum where people are interacting in there as well.
So when Nicole talks about purpose, this is the space you need to be in to help you uncover, discover, and define your purpose so that Pam can constantly move you forward, because the opportunities are there, but are you ready for them? So having that community, having access to Pam, having me helping you define, brand clarity and helping you uncover, discover your purpose, all that is key in this program. Let's not sleep on how valuable that program is. And of course, Rodney knows all about it.
I was just about to tag in, because what I can share to bolster what Pam and Cier just provided is firsthand experience of having gone through it. So this little pen that y'all saw me just pick up a little bit ago when Nicole was talking, this was the same pen I would go and print out those handouts, right? I would print out those PDFs and I would show Pam. I was like, I was doing my work, because I had been speaking and training and facilitating for years. I didn't understand the business. I didn't understand branding. I didn't know simple things like don't have your name on certain platforms be your first and last, but on other platforms, you got your middle initial in there. Because although that doesn't seem like the biggest thing, right?
But they can't find you.
That's right. And all of a sudden, we want to make things as smooth. If you have a message, If you are a part of this community and you're trying to speak life to people, you want to make that digestion process as smooth as possible. And keeping things like your name consistent is a vital part of that. I didn't know that stuff, right? And so Ready, Set, Go, Speak is a phenomenal tool. I highly recommend it. It was great for me, for my sense of self, and for my directionality. So definitely check that out.
It is humbling. Let me just say this. It is humbling and empowering at the same time.
Yes, it is.
Because it humbles you to recognize where you are.
That's right.
You know, where you're starting from, but empowers you to move forward.
Yeah, because everybody thinks that they need to be on CNN automatically. They need to be. Rodney said me, he says, I'm going to get on CNN. I said, how about we get into the Afro first?
Right.
And you did. You got in the Afro and you got in a lot of different podcasts. And pitching should be so natural for a speaker. Pitching your message out to the media. That should be a natural part of what you do. And you told me the other day that you were just writing a couple of pitches.
Yep.
And every time he pitches, he gets a hit.
Boom.
It's like, so why don't we do it more? Like, yes, do it more, because the more you do it, the more, you never know. It could be 5 or 6 people listening to you on that podcast, and those are the people that book you to speak. That's just like, that's how it's going to work. That's how it's going to work. So yeah, that is so cool. But yeah, Ready, Set, Go, Speak. You could do the 7-7 challenge. You could test drive it 7 days for $7. That's it.
It's a great fit, guys.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So this is our partner, blackpr.com. I would always say at least once a month, try and do a press release, at the very least once a quarter. And when you do it on blackpr.com. It's good for SEO, and it's also good for people to find you if they're Googling you, a press release that has your message of what it is that your focus is for that particular quarter or that month. But every speaker should have a content theme for a particular month or at least a quarter, so that you are called upon by the media to be that subject matter expert. But they won't know it unless you put out a release. And that's why we use blackpr.com. Great service. They do excellent. They've been around 22 years. We started the same year. Yep. Wow. Love them. So if we can go next. This is a little bit of the behind the scenes, but you'll actually, if you hover over, you'll see the video as well, where Nicole was doing her cover shoot, and Letitia Nicole was there as well. She's going to be a cover this year. And then in the background, you see Sean Fair. He's on the cover. So it was just all like cover time doing that whole thing.
And that photographer is world renowned, Pam.
Yes, Emma she is good. She is really good. And she made it work. I mean, she probably shot a lot of people during that time, but she spent time with the 2 cover girls of really making sure that they had the shots that they wanted. And it came out wonderful. It came out so good. Yep. And then we have Dr. Tamiyo Faison. She is Therapeutic Solutions there. So she's one of the ones, you'll see her speaker reel when you click there as well. So for people who like to read, they'll get the physical copy. You want to read it online, but then also too, you can click it and watch her speaker reel. And she had a good one as well. So it's really good. Even if you don't hire her, you can follow her and learn from her and network with her. Okay. So that's one of the things too. You can learn from other people, because I only put people in the magazine if they're ready. So she is ready, and you can learn from her. If you don't know what a speaker reel should look like or what a good bio should sound like, make sure that you look at her. And then the next is Cassandra Hill. Cassandra, I am so proud of her. She has started to really come into her own, getting her messaging together, her photos. She has her book. When we first started, there were some things that we had to change, and she has been very coachable. I'm so proud of her. Stephanie Wall on the other side as well. She has some fabulous photos. It was hard to really figure out which picture to choose. But this issue is all about women. So there's no men in this issue. It's all about women, Women's History Month. And Stephanie is really good in the DEI space. So that's one of the things that she champions there. I love how she's holding that bag and that picture.
That's a really fashion forward. Is that a dress? I don't even know.
Yes, she has that power look in it, and red is a power color anyway. So that was really
whoever
cool.
she is, you want to get to know her, you want to meet her.
Absolutely.
Yes, and of course you have the links and everything there that you see that she has, and you see her logo that she uses, and obviously that she speaks with the microphone. So all of the branding points, when speakers look at other speakers' materials, marketing materials, learn and glean from them, not copy, but learn and glean, so that you can have benchmarks of where you need to go with your particular logo, with your things that you do, the things that you share, and also the writing of the bio is so, so key. Because a lot of times when people are going to book you, they're only going to look at two things: your picture and your bio. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Cool, cool.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
So
There
this
we
is our
go.
center spread. I wanted to say centerfold, but that don't sound cool. We say our center spread.
You
So
don't want to
this
say
is,
centerfold? You don't want to say centerfold?
I don't want to say centerfold. That just conjures up things about Playboy
Other things,
magazine.
yeah. Our cover girl. Our cover girl for sure. Yeah. Center spread cover girl.
Yes, yes, yes. So this right here was written by Cier Black. It's an excellent story. How she synthesizes the words down from an hour interview is just
I
amazing.
have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you really do have a gift with that. And so this one across here, you can see her personality, which you can see across the top, and then also her smile. Always contagious, always high energy, always positive. So that's
It's
what you
great.
really want to see.
Can I give a shout out to Sierra real quick, Pam?
Yes.
So, guys, if you are
We
trying,
always have time for that. Go right ahead.
yeah, good, good. If you are trying to have your story told, right? It's one thing to tell your story, and that's a very powerful thing. But if you are looking for a way to have your story packaged and presented also for you, when I had my interview with Sierra Black, right, that produced this beautiful cover and all of that kind of stuff, the way she and the crazy thing about it, Nicole just said it herself. Talking to Cier is like talking to an old friend.
Mm,
Even
mhm,
if that's y'all's first real deep conversation like that. Cier has this unique way of just making it comfortable, of asking these little intriguing questions that's like, actually, and I didn't even think about. And then she, there's a couple times when I was talking to her, I wish Nicole was here. She'd be like, that's right. There's a couple times, y'all, when I was talking to Cier, that she would tie in things that I had already said 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, to something I was just currently talking about. Then she took all of that and put it into this magazine in a way that other people get the essence of who you are in a very powerful, dynamic, and simple way. That is a
mm,
talent. And if you
mhm,
want to get the benefit of that, I recommend that you connect with Cier. Connect through Pam. Whatever this looks like to make that work, do this because it's invaluable to you in your career. Nicole,
mhm,
you see it right here, and I can attest to it too. Cier Black is one of the
Yeah, Rodney, thank you so much for that. And this is exactly what Nicole did say. When you are the jar, you cannot see the label. And I take great pride and joy, and I am passionate about helping people see their label and
Mhm.
empower them and give them confidence. But Rodney, the greatest thing you said to me is I felt like I was in a therapy session because that means those questions were so deep that I
Yes,
am digging and
yes.
uncovering things that you had not thought about or given thought to
In a way that was comfortable,
in
right?
a way
mhm,
that
Because
is comfortable.
sometimes people have a gift to dig in, and they don't know what
Right,
they're doing. They're sloppy, they're heavy-handed, right? And so they're
right.
messing with your emotions. You leave all open and wounded.
And wounded, right? I always say I create a safe
It
space,
was
right?
safe.
yeah,
But it's
It was
all
safe.
about really pulling your message out and making you shine.
That's
I
exactly.
love giving you guys a platform, for you to see your greatness in which you've never seen it before and really share it with others. Thank you for that, Rodney.
You are. Thank you.
mhm. That is
Absolutely.
cool. And the way someone uses the Speakers Magazine cover and cover story is definitely obviously on the website. It is definitely Googleable. You Googleicious in terms of that, but they can also take it and mail it to their clients or prospective clients. So if someone has a conference that they say, "Hey, I'd like to know a little bit more about you," you can use this as part of the mailing that you send to them as well. So they know a little bit more about you. It has authority that you're on the cover of Speakers Magazine. And we have known people who have gotten like $5,000, $10,000 speaking gigs because of being in the magazine. So that is why we do it. We don't want, and this is why we partner with Black Speakers Networks, we don't want Black speakers to be left out. So we really want to shine them in the best light and stellar, like they are the superstars that they are. And that's one of the main things that we want to do. Not only is it online so that you, your family, and friends can see it, but we also want the customers to see it, the people who may hire you, right? The corporations and things like that. You can put the JPEG out, you could send it to them, you could mail them the entire magazine. So that's why we do what we do. So
And
that's
let me just say this about Speakers Magazine. This goes to, of course, Dr. Pam Perry and Mark. You know, the quality of this magazine and the vetting of the people in there, like Pam said, and she works with all type of people, but you have to be ready to come into this magazine. And quite honestly, even if you're not ready, if she can work with you to get you ready, you will be able to get into the magazine. So this magazine is iconic, and it's going to continue being iconic. But the value and the quality of this magazine is what stands out from other magazines, because there are tons of magazines out here.
right? Good. You got it. You got it. I love it.
Right. But the people that she decides to go in there and what comes along with it, the publicity, the promotion, the connections, the network, the community. It's like no other magazine out there. Because I know everyone's doing a magazine, but I'm telling you, these magazines are different. They're different.
I see Delator on the back of the cover where you were, Rodney. Hold yours up. So what happens is whoever's on the cover for the previous month or the upcoming month, they're usually on the back of the one before. Yeah. So Rodney was on that cover and Dell was on the back, and then the month after that, Dell was on the cover and someone else. So it gives that whole thing about their book or their program. But when Dell was on the cover, he actually was speaking at an event and he had them all on the table for everyone to see. That was such a good look. Before they even heard him, they knew that he was a superstar, right? It was like, he bringing it. He's on he gave everybody a magazine with him on the cover and his cover story. So that's
how you brand. That's top tier branding.
That was branding. Dell did that. Dr. Dell did that. So that's cool. That's cool. But I love these pictures of the purple and the burgundy and the gold and the orange here for Nicole. So let's go through the next. We got a couple of minutes here. Go through them really, really quick.
Okay.
We've got Dr. Stacy Gordon, Regina Sabbat. Regeline actually is a woman that has spoken a lot with Les Brown. She has oh my God, her story is amazing. You got to read that. And Stacy as well, executive advisor, DEI strategist as well. A lot of DEI people that are really speaking out. You know, they work in their job and now they're actually speaking on stages and things like that. So that's really good. And Regeline has a podcast as well that you can read about. And if you're a speaker, you can approach her to be on her podcast. So, you know, I always tell people, you know, be curious, you know, be nosy, dig into the links, see what you can find a collaboration with. There's hidden gems all through all the magazines, really are. You know, so I tell people to be a little bit more curious and just say, hey, you know, I didn't know she had a podcast. I'll pitch myself. And she does a really good job with that as well. Next. Then we have Wendy Turner Miller. She is one of the few women that is in the waste management industry. And that is a billion-dollar industry. And so she looks all glamorous and cute, but she does the dirty work, right? She does the COVID cleaning. She does industrial cleaning. It's waste management. It's recycling. All of the things that is really not traditionally you'll find a lot of women, especially Black women. So I'm really, really proud of that. You'll read her story there about why she did it. Her background from before that was an attorney. She was a bankruptcy trustee. So really, really smart lady. Dr. Kortni, she's a happiness doctor, I think she calls herself. But Kortni, I'm so excited to have her in this issue because she is her speaker reel. You gotta see it. It's amazing. She's really doing the darn thing. She really is. And you could tell from her marketing materials that why she's successful. So I wanted people to really understand that. You see at the bottom there, she has her speaking topics, which is really key to being in the magazine. You know, you can do your bio, but if you could do your bio short and add your speaking topics, that's key. Okay, that's really, really key. So Kortni did that thing. And then the last one is we always have at least one article that really feeds the soul of a speaker. A lot of times speakers is like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do another blog post, if I could write an article, but this talks about 4 ways to turn your talk into text. Okay, so that's really, really cool. That's written by Chris Wood, so you'll read that and get insight from that. And then the other one, Dr. Darnell, Jervy Harmon, she is actually in Washington, D.C., in Atlanta and Delaware, so it talks about that as well, that she was going to be in the area, moving to millions, meaning like moving to millions, moving out of this 6-figure into millions. That's her message there. And then the last page is the Be the Answer event, which is March 18th and 19th is virtually. And again, betheanswerevent.com. If you want the $100 off, just email me, staff at pamperrypr.com. Staff at pamperrypr.com. I got to remember to slow it down. And you get $100 off. And then that way it's only $200 for you to attend the event. And it's 2 days. So it's really, really well. The swag box is going to be worth that part. You know, the information is a bonus. So yeah. So anyway, so make sure that you do that as well. If you're serious, you know, if you're just curious, keep going. If you're serious, do it. With that, I am done.
That is beautiful.
I say if they're curious, let them go anyway. That would help them make up their mind. Either way, be there.
Be there. Be there. There's no magic wand, but you do have to show up to go up. That's what I always say. So hey, do that.
That phrase rings in my head, Pam. Pam doesn't, you don't know that, but that show up to go up.
Oh yeah.
Show up, go up.
Oh yeah.
She says that so much, Cier. It is, I hear it. And there's times where, for example, I told you I was trying to get myself to Michigan. It did not happen because I was double booked. But I was trying because I knew it was so much happening that weekend. I knew Letitia was in. I knew Nicole was going to be there. I knew Sean. And Sean's my boy now since we hung out those couple of times. And so I
wanted Sherwood and Cherie. Cheryl and Cherie.
back to back like that. Man, so those that show up, good people, go up.
It is. And I just want to admonish people to really step into their gift, step into their power. Don't worry about what other people are doing or what other people are thinking. Be your authentic self. Do you. The world is waiting on you. So don't hide. Show up. You know, go up. It's not about you. Just always realize it's not about you. You were put here for a reason. And that reason is for you to just show up, be in your full power of that. So I just really admonish that. So many times, I'm a publicist, not a therapist, but so many times when I'm trying to push people to really step into pitching and to showing up on stages and media, they're hovering back. And I'm like, what's going on? And it's like something inside of them is saying, well, I'm scared. It's like bust through that fear. Do whatever you have to do. Read all the personal development books you have to, but remember that it's not about you. You have to fix that if you want your business to go up, if you really want to shine and get the visibility. So if you want to get the publicity, just please show up. You know, don't hide anymore. It's your time to shine.
I love that. I love that. Pam, you're great at what you do. Cier, you know you are one of a kind. I'm so glad that we have you guys as a unit, as a tag team. I enjoyed our conversation. We are at the hour, a couple of minutes over, and I like keeping us to the point. So with that being said, we look forward. We do this once a month. This is the Speakers Magazine cover reveal. This month, it was Nicole Roberts Jones. Her event is called Be the Answer, right? Be the Answer. So take a moment, look her up, follow her across the social media platforms. Her name is consistent. Go to betheanswerevent.com. And with that being said, we will see you guys next month. Same bat time, same bat channel. I am Rodney C. Burris, one of the beneficiaries of everything that Pam and Cier have brought together. Shout out to Speakers, Black Speakers Network. And with that being said, we will see you all next month.
All righty. Thank you.
Yos.